Robert Gibbs, I was on the air when he gave that speech, and we started there yesterday. And again, 4 years ago today, the Access Hollywood tape came out. John Podesta's emails started leaking. We do not know how this is going to end. We don't know what we'll be pleading with tomorrow, for being perfectly honest here today. But something has seeped into the collective consciousness, and it's that Donald Trump does not care about you. Donald Trump does not care about anybody that lives with him or works with him. And then every day he seems intent on giving us example after example after example after example to cement his own worst narratives. Jason Johnson said on the show yesterday, he's a walking negative advertisement against himself. It seems that he has become that really in a pretty concerted way around his failures on coronavirus, as though he's trying.
Well, I think, different presidents settle into a different strategy to get reelected, right? In 1984, Ronald Reagan. In 1996, Bill Clinton sought to have a referendum on themselves and a referendum on the direction of where the country was going. In 2004 with George Bush, in 2012 with Barack Obama, it's a choice between one vision or the other. And in reality, what Donald Trump needed to get this election to, once COVID hit, was into a choice.
Right.
And yet it's never been more than a referendum. And it's stuck on that. And as you said, each and every day, we're reminded of the failures of this administration. We're reminded of the character flaws. We're reminded of the empathy flaws that exist within Donald Trump. And this, quite frankly, is why Mike Pence's job is going to be so difficult tonight, because it's not just about the comparison between Trump and Biden or Pence and Kamala Harris. In reality, what Mike Pence has to do tonight is to get the American people to think fundamentally about a presidency that they're watching the reality show of each and every day, horrified by what the next episode will show. And again, Donald Trump doesn't have the attention span or the strategy to get this into anything else other than that. And I think every day, nothing has been more crystallizing really than the last week. Once he walked off that stage in the debate, and we'd seen that for 90 minutes, all the way into not just diagnosed with coronavirus, but the actions of going on that ride out to see supporters, rushing back to the White House, and now into the Oval Office, demanding that people put on PPE to come have a meeting that you could do on a conference call or a Zoom.
Like the rest of us, I want to follow up with you, Robert Gibbs. It's a little sort of political wonkiness, but our viewers could all teach political science after these last 4 years. So let me just go a little deeper on this. Structurally, this is exactly right. An incumbent president with an approval rating as low as Donald Trump's, and his approval rating, again, if you love him or hate him, it has always hovered around 40%, cannot win if the conversation and the news in these final weeks is about that president. One of the things that someone involved in debate prep said to me is that he is constitutionally incapable of shutting up long enough to let the conversation be anything that his opponent says, because he doesn't let him talk. I mean, it would seem that with that locked in now, with this race clearly in the minds of the American voters, a referendum on Donald Trump's presidency, on his failures to contain and protect people from COVID, there is very little that Pence can do tonight to alter that.
I think it's tremendously difficult, the task that he has, because he's not simply the vice president. He's not simply the explainer of the president's actions. Hey, good luck with that, Mr. Vice President. But he's also the head of the coronavirus task force, right? He's going to have to answer a series of questions. Why is the building with the most resources on planet Earth not doing contact tracing?
Right.
Why are masks still not mandatory on the campus? I mean, it isn't rocket science, right? It's really quite basic. And I think there's no doubt Pence has a tough job. And look, in some ways, even on Joe Biden's not his most perfect days, his best strategy has still been let Donald Trump be Donald Trump. And you heard this so much. We're going to have to let Donald Trump be Donald Trump. Letting Donald Trump be Donald Trump is why his approval rating is in the low 40s. It's why his approval rating and his vote number are almost identical. And you see it in poll after poll, that inability to get beyond that 40, 41, 42, 43. And look, I don't think I'm ever going to live long enough to see a Democrat win Florida by 11 points. So I'm not believing all of these polls. But look, there's clearly something that's going on out there that sees an election that has otherwise been so remarkably stable, all of a sudden change in the last week.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.